Empire team call night. It's so nice to see all of your beautiful faces. Congratulations to all of you who are in our new coach training. I say our new coach training, but it's our Tribe Vibe training. And it's literally like an overhaul. Our whole team is in there, and we are just leading from the front, especially even our older leaders. They're there, and they're in the trenches with us, and we're doing it. So thank you for those of you who are participating. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please talk to your upline, because that is the place to be right now. That is where we are really trying to overhaul our Facebook pages, all of our social media platforms, make sure that our inviting is on point, our vital behaviors are on point. So hopefully you are in there. Congratulations, I can't talk. Congratulations to Lindsay Duran. Are you on here, Lindsay? Where are you at?
Hey, get out of there.
Oh, she's yelling at a kid. I can hear
Probably
her.
yelling at you because you keep saying her last name wrong.
Lindsay Duran. Is she on?
I thought I heard her.
I thought I did too. Either way, Lindsay is our grand prize winner for Explode the Empire. Do you have the grand total of how many coaches she added to her team?
Yeah. She added 14. She was one shy of 15.
14 new coaches for our...
But we did 220.
I was going to say that. Yes, we added 220 new coaches to Epic Empire during Explode the Empire. So congratulations to all of you. Our team is growing. It's thriving. And there's a lot of new excitement there, which I'm super pumped about. You guys know we have our Diamond Retreat coming up. That is in September. The qualification dates are July 19th. You wake up Diamond. So, and hold it for 6 weeks. I don't know the exact date. It might be August 8th or something like that. But just July 19th, you wake up Diamond. Yeah. And I have this whole wall of people who are literally super close to Diamond within my downline. So you guys, you're there. You're so close. And hopefully these calls with Amy and Melanie Mitro are going to, and Holly Hilliard and Ruth Shermer, all of them are going to be pouring into you. So I want you guys to put all of your distractions aside. I will as well. And really focus on this time that we're here together, because I know that our lives are chaotic and it's sometimes hard to just sit down and pour into our business. And so tonight I want you to try to put everything aside and listen to what Amy has to share. Now, I love this chick. Like, she doesn't know it, but I fangirl over her. And I know some of you guys do too. She's just such an authentic person. She's so true to who she is. And since I've been watching her, it feels like she's always been that way. And so I have so much respect for you, Amy. And I'm so excited for you to pour into my team. A little bit about her credentials. And I know she's like a super, super humble person, so it's probably always awkward to like say them. But I have to say them so you guys can like get the magnitude of royalty that you're going to listen to tonight, because she's amazing. Amy is the founder of, and I love this team name, Team Set Your Soul on Fire. And her like logos and branding on her team shirts, like I would buy it at the store. Like, dang, I need to up my game a little bit. She is a 5-time elite coach. She is a 4-time top 10 coach. Means she's been in the top 10 4 years in a row. That is
6 elite, 5 top 10.
It's what?
6 elite, 5 top 10.
Oh, well. I'll blame that on Nicola.
I'll correct you.
No,
actually,
no.
We're officially elites. Actually, our team officially achieved elite for the 7th year this month. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh wait, you've already got the numbers and the diamonds. That's amazing. All right. Well, congratulations. And you're also holding the top spot right now as top coach, correct?
As of this month, yes.
She's going to dethrone Melanie Mitro.
It's either going to be me or Ashley.
You got this, girl. We're pulling for you. She was top 3 in 2014, and she's going to be top coach this year. So we're just going to be cheering you on. Top 2 in 2015, top 3 in 2016. Like, these numbers blow my mind. I can't even like wrap my brain around the magnitude of that. I one day will be as cool as you when I grow up. But I'm here tonight to just sit and listen and absorb. If you guys have questions, please post them in the chat and we can ask them at the end of the call. And make sure you mute your lines so we don't have any like crazy kids screaming in the background or TVs or husbands yelling or something. So, Amy, we are going to give you the floor, girlfriend.
Thank you. I know that didn't sound humble at all. I'm like, actually, we're elite for 7 years. But, you know, and it's it's really fresh on my mind right now because the numbers just came out, and I think there are 9 teams who are already elite this year. And one of them is Moira, who you guys heard on the National Wake Up Call on Monday, who's also on my team. And she's killing it. She's only been a coach for like 3 years. So, I mean, I'm so inspired by people, newer coaches like Bonnie Engel and Moira Kusaba and you, Jatana, and like so many other coaches who just get this business so fast, because you guys, I didn't. And I think when you hear those numbers and that like resume, basically I call it my Beachbody resume. And I hope you guys understand that you are building your Beachbody resume. You know, every single year that goes by that you don't have movement with your business, that's your resume. And you got to think about how you're presenting that to people and how that would look if you were walking. Like, I only worked in the restaurant industry. Okay. So I was a waitress for 10 years before I became a Beachbody coach. And so my resume was different restaurant jobs. And I started off, you know, I think my first restaurant job was Johnny Rockets, and I used to sing and dance and sling shakes and fries and wear a ridiculous outfit, but I made good money. And because like I could take like massive amount of tables. And then I moved up to Outback Steakhouse, and I worked there for a couple years. And then I moved up to fine dining, and I worked for a celebrity chef. And then I reached the top, and I worked for a couple celebrity chefs in San Francisco. And my resume was me gradually moving up, right? And I think of my Beachbody resume the same, where this is my career. I look at this as a career. And when I got into this business, I was like, well, you know, it is a non-negotiable for me. Sorry if I look distracted. I have a puppy, and he heard me yelling at him. It wasn't your other coach. I was yelling at my puppy, and I had to mute myself. But basically, when I got into this business, I saw top 10 coaches. I'm in Barbie Decker's downline. I don't really have a coach that's working the business who signed me up. She stopped working like after 2 years. But Barbie Decker was my upline, and she is my upline, and she was an example to me of like what I should be doing. She was on the coach advisory board. She was in the top 10 for 2 years. She was making ridiculous money. And I was like, okay, so that is what I need to aspire to be. But I didn't know how to get there. You know, when your upline doesn't work with you when you're a little fish in a big pond, you know, like you have to earn that right, you know, and that you have to earn that respect. And so I had to figure it out for myself. And I got on National Wake Up Calls, and I learned from the National Wake Up Calls. And so, and I know that's kind of annoying to hear, but I really want to call you out if you're not showing up for the National Wake Up Call every single week, because literally Sandy makes coaches get on that call and say exactly what they're doing to get results. There's no fluff. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to say to give them something to do? You know, like she makes sure that you say something that's going to help people to grow their business. And so that was one of the first things that my coach called me on when I wasn't seeing traction in my business. And it wasn't the 4 vital behaviors. It was, are you listening to the National Wake Up Call every week? And are you on the team calls? And I had to say no. You know, I had excuses. I was busy, you know, all those things. And so that was my biggest first turnaround with my business when it came to showing up for it, was showing up for the calls. And I started to learn so much that I could apply. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me put him away. Give me a second. Hey, in case you guys want to see what's driving me crazy right now, he's 5 months old.
Oh, is that a French bulldog?
Yes, and
That's
he's
so cute. So
yeah,
cute.
my dress is really short. So
Funny story while she's putting him away. I remember when I first started coaching, and I would like scroll through YouTube and watch all these videos of coaches. I remember watching Amy Silverman's Getting Started Right call YouTube video where she's like talking to some dude and she's talking
with a guy.
Yes. I watched it. I'm like, what is she saying? And I was like, taking all the notes. I think I was an Emerald coach at the time. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's so much stuff out there for you guys to be successful. That guy's not on my team anymore, in case you're wondering. But so but you know, when it came to like building my Beachbody resume and like, and that kind of stuff, and I had to learn from a lot of other people, but I wanted to tell you guys one of the biggest, do you guys want to hear the biggest game changer that came into my business when it came to like building volume? Because at the end of the day, top 10 is great. I really just do it for the trip. Just so you guys know, like I do it for the trip. One of the main reasons why I ever wanted to start working this business to begin with was a Success Club trip. I'm incredibly motivated by free vacations. And there's nothing wrong with whatever motivates you in this business. I honestly cannot imagine not being on that trip every year. Like it's my family vacation, like with me and Jeff and Michael. And like, I just love that time, you know, with them and where we go. It's beautiful. And, what was I saying? Okay. So the biggest game changer in my business, came when we, do you guys know who Jason Diebold is? Does anybody here know who that is? I feel like he's like an old dog. Mike is shaking his head. I feel like if you know who that is, then you have really dug deep into the Beachbody culture. Like if you know who that is. And I feel so blessed to have him and Keith Callahan and Bob Lucido. Like these people were my silent mentors in my business. These guys, like these were the people I talked to when I went to conventions and summit. I didn't talk to like all the flashy top coaches. I talked to these dudes who were like incognito, like with these amazing lives. And I was after the lifestyle from the very beginning. And I know it's really confusing when somebody says that, but they're like top 10 with these gowns and this hair. But really for me, that's like really just fun dress up time. I just do it for fun. Like it's really the only time of the year I get dressed up and I just have a lot of fun with it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all out. I'm all in, right? I'm all or nothing. But these guys really taught me about volume and how important it is to build deep and how important it is to build leaders. And it was so eye-opening for me because at the end of the day, I'll probably never be a 15-star diamond coach, so you guys know. I have multiple business centers, and I have a 9-star, an 8-star, a 3-star, 1-star, another whatever star, and they're all building volume. And they're like my volume increase this year has been absolutely insane. And it has the first year that I'm seeing the kind of volume increase that I've seen other coaches have in their businesses because of strong legs that I never had. And so I finally have that experience. It took me like 7 years to get there, where I'm making more than coaches who have been in this business for 10, 12 years, not 12 years, not that long yet, but 10, 11 years, like coaches who've been in this business way longer than me that I never thought I'd be making as much money as them. I'm making more than them. It's because of consistency, but it's also because I did not get distracted by shiny objects. Now, it's really hard not to get distracted by things like 15-star. And I know, and it's great if you want to do 15-star, do it. Like if it's your thing, by all means. But I have seen, you guys, I've been in this business for 7 years. I have seen it all. And I have seen so many coaches shoot for top 10 and shoot for 15-star in a way that was so forceful and so controlling that when they got to that goal, their teams crumbled because the stress and the just what they put their team through. Nobody wants to do that. You join Beachbody, you join this business because it's fun, because you want to have fun doing it, because you love doing it. It's an outlet. It's something that's different from what you've always done. It's so different than anything you'll ever do in your life. You get to make your own rules. And I realized that like, I wanted to be like those coaches where their volume was so strong that I never had to worry about money ever again. And pushing for rank is not going to necessarily do that. Now, you do need rank to maximize your volume, but 9-star is really for me like the sweet spot, and building multiple business centers to 9-star and capping them out. I will say that I've been in the business for 7 years and my first CBC is still not capped out. So to give you an idea of how long it can take to cap out a business center, it's a really great goal to work on. And I first started to understand how to do that when I started to learn about duplication. And I wanted to talk to you guys about duplication, and I wanted to ask you some very hard questions. So a big part of this business is ownership. taking complete and 100% ownership for your business and the way your business is going and what's going on with the business, not Beachbody's products and Beachbody this and shipping and customer service and blame this and blame that. It's basically, you know, understanding that every single thing that's going on in your business is because of you. And when you take 100% ownership for your business, then you can take complete ownership for changing your business too. But if you are pointing the blame and blaming other outside things that you can't control, then it basically you're taking the responsibility off of yourself, which is very, very scary place to be, because then you lose complete actual control of your business because you can't control those other things. What you can control is what you're doing. So my question to you guys is, do you have coaches? And I want you to post in the chat, and I love putting teams on the spot. It's my favorite thing to do. I went on a top coaches team once, and I'm talking like ex-top 10 coach, and I asked his team, who here actually does the 4 vital behaviors every day, and not one person said yes, and he was so pissed. But he knew exactly how to help his team right after that call. He was so embarrassed, but it was good for them. I won't ask you guys that, but I do want to ask you, how many of you guys have coaches, and I'm not saying you're PS coaches, but how many of you guys have at least coaches like 2 levels down, like your PS coaches? I'm going to say at least 2 levels. I will go as far as 3 if you have 3 levels. Some of you probably don't have 3 levels yet, maybe just 2 levels. But how many of you guys have coaches in your downline, not just your PS? PS don't count, but coaches in your downline hitting Success Club? Yes, these do yes I do, or no I don't in the chat. I will sit here and stare awkwardly until everybody participates.
For some reason, mine's on private, and I can't figure out how to get it unprivate.
If you click to the everyone, and you gotta click on that everyone and select everyone.
There's not, it's just everybody's name. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I'm special. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, if you're brand new, obviously you have no coaches in your downline, but now you know what to aspire for. Okay, so your goal before Summit is to get a PS coach or a coach in your downline that's not your PS into Success Club. Okay. And one of the things that I used to do, so when I started to realize that I wanted a team like the Bombshell Dynasty and the Platinum Presenters and these huge teams that had these brands and like just were armies, and I'd go to events and it was like all these people. And I was like, I want a lot of freaking people on my team. Still do not have nearly as many as Christine Dwyer or Lindsay Matway. My team is very humbly small, but we're mighty. We have a lot of volume producers. And, but that's what I wanted. And in order for me to have that, I knew that I needed to have people being successful on my team. I needed not just my PS, but I needed my team to be successful. And in order to build a successful team that's generating volume, everybody needs to be hitting Success Club. Everybody needs to be advancing in rank. And I needed to make that happen. And so I was actually just on a call before this with one of my leadership mentorship groups, and I was telling them, I was like, you need to reach down into your organization and you need to go and handpick people who show promise, and you need to personally mentor them and help them in a way that their personally sponsored coaches can't. Because maybe their personally sponsored coaches have limiting beliefs or setbacks mentally, or they really just don't know how to help somebody to take action. And maybe you do. So you need to take initiative when it comes to your team and mentor some people to Emerald and Diamond. Because look, if you have Emeralds popping deep in your organization, guess what else you got popping? Diamonds. And that's how you get to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and all that jazz. None of that happens from like forcing people to Diamond. That happens from being a team player and for like building a really healthy team that's generating paychecks and helping a lot of people. And one of the things that I also did that you guys can apply is that I know a lot of times, like we do Success Club incentives for our personally sponsored coaches. I did Success Club incentives for my entire team, like my entire downline, probably for like the first 3 or 4 years of my business. I invested, and I was telling my coaches, I invested more as a new coach who had no money into those things than I do now as a coach who can probably afford it, because now I take like top coaches on these extravagant trips and I invest in my top coaches more. But back then I was trying to build duplication. And so I would give away gifts, incentivize for Success Club, my entire downline. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money, you guys. Like, go on Etsy and buy like hair ties in like bulk, you know, and if you message people, hold on a second. But you know, I message Etsy sellers and I'm like, hey, I want to buy 50 of these things, like these little hair ties or whatever. I was like, will you do a bulk discount? They always say yes. So that's a really great tip for you guys. And if you want to save some money and you want to do incentivizing for your entire team, you can also incentivize for Emerald, you know, and give away something special for Emerald. I used to spend so much money on personal development books for people. And I go back through my Amazon and I'm like, oh my God, who is this person? I don't even know who this person is, that I had spent money on personal development books. That is like, I feel like it's too much money for an Emerald. You know, I feel like it just needs to be a very similar gift, maybe $5, you know, just something to motivate them. I don't know if your team does team swag or something like that, but you could do diamond gifts for your entire team or whatever you want to do. You could even do like a 2B mindset water bottle. You know, there's so many different things that you can do to incentivize people. And I always recommend incentivizing with like stuff that creates volume too. So if you want to incentivize with something you get on Etsy for cheap, go ahead. But if you want to, you know, buy a bunch of stuff through a spouse account and generate volume for your weak leg, if you're pushing for team leader, do that too. You know, like it'll kill two birds with one stone. So anyway, so I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about like, you know, taking initiative and stepping into that kind of a role with your team. And now you're going to have coaches who want to like power play you. And I'm just letting you know right now, like you're going to have PS coaches who don't quite understand why you're overstepping them. And so it's really great to have communication with your team and to really build that kind of a team environment and tribe that understands that we are all here to help each other. And that when I help you, your team, you make more money and we're all successful. Because I had a lot of that weird kind of stuff going on in the beginning of my business. And I really sucked at communication. And so I had to do a lot of training around communication when it came to my team and personality types. So just know that like, it's going to take a while to really understand how to be a leader and how to mentor. It's not easy. I actually found that it was one of the most confusing things about this business, and it just takes time. So yeah, how long was I talking for? Do I have time to say one more thing before questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, and then now I wanted to just talk a little bit about numbers. And I think everybody has different belief systems around this, but I have always and will always stick to my truth that this is a numbers business. I mean, that's personally how I grew my business, and I still grow my business. And I'm not one of those people that, you know, throw it at a wall, see if it sticks kind of numbers person, but I am a numbers person where I really truly believe that it takes a lot of people to find those people who are actually going to want to do this business. And so I want to see what kind of numbers you guys have, because I want to see if you were on my team, and I like to kind of adopt teams when I do these calls, and I just want to see, like, if you were on my team and you were saying like, hey, Amy, this is a diamond group, right? This is a push group for diamond?
Oh, no, it's a team call, but you're good.
Well, whatever. It's a push for diamond always call.
Yes, exactly.
You guys should be pushing for diamond by summit. Like, you really should be. Like, you need to really close your eyes and think about how good it's going to feel, even if you didn't do it in time for recognition, but the fact that you can walk into summit, like, ranked up to diamonds, and how good and how proud that it'll feel. And people are like, oh, what rank are you? You can be like, diamonds. You know, cross out your emerald thing and write diamond. You know, like, I personally think about those things, you know, like when I don't want to work, I'm like, how's it going to feel next year when I don't get to sit in the front? I want to sit in the front. You know, like, that's what I think about. I don't want that taken away from me. So I want to know what your numbers are, because I want to see if you were my coach and you were coming to me and you're like, I really want to make this business work. I'm just assuming that you all want to make this business work. You all want to pay off debt. You all want to maybe not be full-time one day, but have the opportunity to be full-time if you so desire. Like I don't know how many of you guys follow me, but I just announced that I'm 8 weeks pregnant, and it's not something that I would have ever done if it wasn't for Beachbody. Being a parent was not something that like I ever wanted to be, but I have such a luxury with working from home and want to share this life I've created with other people besides social media that I wanted to kind of, create my own little like tribe myself, my own, right? And it's just been really, really, really awesome that I gave myself that opportunity. If I never gave myself that opportunity 7 years ago, I would have never had, like, this probably would not be happening, And I have a coach who is actually do the same amount of time I am, and she's having to go to work every day. And I'm just like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I don't know how you're doing that, but she's working on full time. So what I want to know, well, first of all, the first question is, do you track your leads? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. For the record, I use Streak. I like Streak. I like to just keep it very seamless and eliminate the middleman, and that's what works for me. But everybody does something different. Okay, so if you do track, then you will know. But how many people how many new invites, and by invites I mean like asking somebody to join your challenge group, do you make a day? And if you don't know this number, you need to start tracking. 5, 3. Okay, you guys. So my coaches are expected to make 20 to 50 new invites a day. We have something called the 100 Challenge that we do as a team, and it's been a game changer. If you go into the Beachbody Champions page, if you type in Brianna Headley, she invented this, and she has like changed the game for my team. She's been in the business 3 years. She's a cumulative 6-figure earner. She's about to go 8-star. She's number 20 something in the company. Go look at her name and go watch her video on the 100 Challenge and do it. I just want to challenge you guys to do it. And I'm not saying that you need to do what my team does or whatever like that. I just want you guys to know that there are other people out there whose standards are a little bit higher when it comes to inviting. And this is not to say that your standards are low, but I'm just saying that when you stretch yourself and you do something that's so uncomfortable, like 100 invites and 100 follow-ups, that's what basically it is. It's 100 invites, 100 follow-ups, and then it's like 100 like squats or lunges or push-ups, whatever you want to do. She had to throw in a fitness component. But basically, when you stretch yourself to do something that seems so insane, and then you do it, then you see that like, well, maybe it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. And you could do the 100 Challenge once a week. So for example, like if you work a full-time job and you're like, man, like I can just get in 30 minutes a day, but you have all of Sunday off. You can literally spend 4 hours on a Sunday doing the 100 Challenge. And you can generate enough leads and enough momentum in your business to carry you through your power hours throughout the week. This is all about just building momentum, you guys. This is all about just doing what you basically just need to do to see what you're capable of. And goals, I always tell my girls, goals are meant to stretch you. They're meant to make you feel uncomfortable. They are meant to be hard. So if you're doing 1 to 3 a day and that feels hard, then you need to sit down and you need to do the 100 Challenge, because 1 to 3 invites a day I can do that literally on the toilet. Like it's so easy. And if you're telling yourself, well, that's hard, then you need to watch your language. You need to watch what you're saying to yourself. You need to not say that. You need to say, that sounds interesting. I'm excited to try, and this is going to be fun. Because what you sell yourself is your reality. And if you look at these things like they're fun and it's a challenge, and I've always looked at this business like it's just like a game. Like I've just always had so much fun with it and seeing what I could do with it and seeing how far I could take it. And that's just what I really want for you guys, is just really just see how far you can take it. You know, like this is your lives we're talking about. Don't play small, you know, go to that next step. Especially like, you know, if you've been a coach. So I'm just curious, how long have you guys been coaches? By just type in the number, and I'll just, if it's 6 months, put 6 months. If it's a year, just put like 1 or 2 or whatever. Yeah. So you guys have been coaches long enough that the 100 challenge should not be that scary. 2 weeks. I have coaches doing it in 2 weeks. It'll definitely get you over your fears, for sure. I don't think it's ever too soon. 12 years. Were you a founding coach, Mike? Nice. I saw you just got added to the wall. Congratulations. So are you Jatana's upline? What's the relationship?
Yeah, we work together.
Oh, great. Cool. Success partners. Awesome. Cool. So I feel like, especially for those of you guys who've been coaches for like a year or 2 years, like this needs to be a new thing. That's just like in your schedule, like non-negotiable. Because at the end of my 3rd year, I don't want you guys to compare yourself, but I was making 6 figures and I was not hitting high numbers. I hit Success Club 5, like my first 8 months. Then I went to 10. I think by the end of my 3rd year, I had just hit top 10 my first time, but the numbers now are a little insane. Like they weren't that insane back then. It was really different back then. And I think I was hitting maybe 30, 40 Success Club a month. And now in order for me to stay in the top 10, I have to be hitting at least 100 to 200 a month. And it's just very different game now. So if you do have goals to be in the top 10, does any of you guys have goals to be in the top 10? I'm just curious. Or if you have goals to be elite. So if you have a goal to be elite this year, I mean, you got to up your numbers for serious, like especially your recruits. How many coaches are you guys recruiting a month? I'm just curious. I want to see. And I'm just telling you guys, like, I'm just straight up just like looking at your numbers and being like, that's not going to work. Like, that's just like that's what I do with my teams. Like, it just like, I just don't see people hitting elite by recruiting 3 coaches a month. 5-time elite. Awesome. You guys have a really great leader. So I really hope you listen to her. 2 new coaches, 5, 10 a month. And that's why you're elite, because you recruit 10 coaches a month. I'm going to get to that. Second, some people start posting some numbers here. Come on, you guys. Even if you recruit 0, write 0. Like, just get some accountability going. Don't write suck at recruiting, because that's your story. You're living in your story. Get out of your story. Go to UPW. Get your butt to Tony Robbins. Okay, 0 to 1, 0, 0, 1 to 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. Not enough. 0 to 2, just recruited 5. Okay, so this is my opinion and a complete speculation, but this is what I would tell my teams. I would say if you're not recruiting any coaches a month, you need to lead with the coaching opportunity with every single one of your posts, because you need to practice talking about the coaching opportunity to the point where it is so easy and so awesome that people just want to be a part of your team because that's all you talk about, because it's just so amazing and you just can't stop. You just can't shut up about it. And if you don't have any coaches, but you have Success Club points, then that leads me to believe that you're not talking about the coaching opportunity enough, that you're leading with the fitness because it's easy and it's fun and it's comfortable. You need to get out of your comfort zones if you guys ever want to see those kinds of results. And the biggest regret I have from my first 2 years was to not build my team more and better. That is the difference between that 6 months, so that year that it took me to start, or the 2 years it took me to start focusing on building my team. I could be making so much more money and have such a bigger team now. Melanie Mitro is a good example. I think she started coaching 6 months after me, but she started building her team immediately. And I'm not comparing myself, because she has so many more skills when it comes to teaching and patience and all these other things that I had to learn. That was an outlier. Have you guys ever read the book Outliers? It's a really great book. She had a lot of outlying skills that I had to learn. And you're going to find that that's the case with all of us. We're all different. But you guys, I was so hard-headed in my business, and I love the feeling of having high success goal points. And so I was like, I know better. And I was just a retail machine, and I didn't focus on growing my team until like that third year when I got top 10. And I have so much regret. And because I could have built something so much bigger by now. So please, please, please don't do that. Don't put off growing your teams because you suck at recruiting or because you think that you can't do it. You learn how to talk about the coaching opportunity by talking about the coaching opportunity. That's how you learn. And I remember the first time I started talking about money, it was so uncomfortable, but Meg Wazinski, who's now Kozlowski, I always say her last name wrong, but at the time, she was like in the top 10 and I wanted that. And I saw that she was posting money and I was like, I got to post money. And so I started talking about money and it worked. And it's a business. Like, you want to attract people who want to work the business, talk about the business. I feel like, that makes sense, right? But I feel like we tend to overcomplicate things. So anyway, I'm just telling you straight up, like, there's some of you that are just not going to do it. And there's some of you that are going to be like, I want to know what I need to do. And you're going to go do it. So I just really hope that you do understand that everything I'm saying because I want you to be successful. And because this is literally what I would tell my team if I was on the call with my team. And I got on a team call last week and I really handed them one. And I wasn't sure that it would be very productive. I thought it'd be counterproductive, but it turned out to be good. So I'm glad that they're getting a break from me this week. Because you're gonna be so much nicer to them than I was. But I would love to do questions or if you want to say anything.
Well, I'll start with a few questions, and if you guys want to type some in the chat. I love what Stacy wrote because I think that's something that a lot of newer coaches, because our team is such a challenge group focused team. Like we run challenge groups, we help challengers, we recruit challengers like crazy. And Stacy's, for example, she can get challengers like crazy, but not as many coaches. What would you say to that newer coach who is sales big time, but not turning it into coaching? What advice would you give her?
Well, first of all, I would ask them I would literally just be like sign up as a coach in the beginning. Like, why don't you just sign up as coaches right away? Like, if they're going to sign up as a challenger, why not just sign up as a coach? They're going to save the 25%. I would really practice that onboarding. When I was a new coach, how I really started to sign up coaches, and I don't use the word discount coach because I was a discount coach. I think that word's stupid. But I basically asked people, okay, great. Would you like to sign up as a coach or a customer? And they'd be like, what's the difference? I'll be like, well, one of them you save 25% and one of them you don't. And they'd be like, well, I want the coach then. I want the one that I save 25%. I'm going to do this for the long haul anyway. I might as well do it. That's the kind of reactions I was getting. And so I think it's really presenting the coaching opportunity more. And also your challengers really learning how to convert customers to coaches, become really good at that. If you recruit challengers all day long, then my opinion is that you're not talking about the coaching team and the coaching opportunity enough in your challenge groups. I talk about being a coach and how amazing being a coach is, and in my challenge groups, I go live. I told my wellness. I don't do challenge groups. I have a wellness studio. I do lifestyle groups, a lifestyle group, and I go live. And I'm just I always talk about how it's the next step. I always talk about how after a while, you need to sign up as a coach because if you really want to make this a lifestyle, you got to lock it in and you got to be part of the team. And I think it's really, really, really important to really talk about that early on, because if you don't, then you're kind of creating a stigma around it yourself. You're kind of shying away from it yourself in a way that you're kind of just making it weird for yourself instead of just being this is what you do. This is what we do. You do challenger, then you do coach. This is what we do here. It's there's no other way. It's it's really interesting because your team does what you do and they're going to duplicate what you do, and your challengers are going to do what you tell them to do, you're their coach. And so, I think it's important just to be lead with the opportunity. They say, I'm not ready. Be well, great. We'll sign you up as a coach in 3 months. they're like, yes, I want to do it then, but I feel like I need to do a program first. And I'm just like, great, do it. Then you'll become a coach. So like for me, it's just always about becoming a coach because I'm in a 12-step program, and the 12th step is paying it forward. And so I have a belief system that if you are not helping other people, you're going to fall backwards. Like I don't believe that you can keep what you've worked so hard to have unless you're paying it forward. And so for me, it's a pay it forward program. My challengers are expected to pay it forward and not be selfish and keep it to themselves. And that's just kind of how I work. So I don't know. Just thought.
I love that. Courtney asks, what way of inviting do you find the most success?
Straight up, just like we are cold inviters on my team. Like we go straight for the invite. I don't like them wasting time with conversations, building relationships. I think that is a waste of time for them and for the other person. How would you feel if somebody came into a conversation with you, and this could go against everything you guys are training your team to do, and you're going to find that a lot of top coaches do everything differently. Don't get confused. Stick to whatever you want to do. But do you ever, like, how would you feel if somebody was creating a fake conversation with you just to sell you something? Like, I would feel really pissed that they stole my time, you know? And so I like to be really direct with people. But you guys have to understand that, like, I don't have to cold invite anymore because I do have such a huge following. I invite through Instagram stories. My Instagram stories is my jam. Like I literally cannot keep up with the amount of people I get from Instagram stories. So, and what better person do you have to teach you Instagram stories, right? So I'm all about Instagram stories. I invite all over the place, and I'm always telling people to drop their email. You know, I'm always inviting people, and I'm always talking about my team. I'm always talking, and you got to learn how to humble brag, you guys. Like you got to learn how to just really talk about how amazing you are all the time and not care what people think. Because if you don't do that, you're not marketing yourself. You know, you're not marketing yourself. You have to market yourself. And if you don't talk about how amazing what you're doing is and what you're, you know, this and that and how excited you are, you guys, I got some negative comments about my pregnancy announcement because I did hashtag got on the first try because I'm proud of me and my husband for how hard we work to be healthy, to be able to conceive on the first try. And I got people who were pissed about that hashtag because I was like offending them. I was insensitive, they said. And you know what? Like, I don't care. Like I'm excited and happy about what we did and how hard we worked, and I'm going to stick to that, you know? So it's not even that big of a deal. And then people still make it a big deal. Cause so like, just do whatever you want to do and talk about however you want to talk, because people are going to twist and turn it however ways they want. And you can't control that. But at the end of the day, like those people are not paying your bills. So you need to make sure that you stay focused on like what you're really doing here. And you are a network marketer. You are a marketer, you know, like you market, and you are your own PR firm. You are your own marketing firm. You're your own firm. Like you have to do the work that all of that would do. All the infomercials Beachbody does, like you got to do that for yourself.
Absolutely. And I always say that, like I love the way you put it. You said humbly kind of boast yourself out there, or I don't know the exact words you use, but it's true because I tell my team all the time, and I was watching Kelly King's stories. I've been watching them every day. And I guarantee you, if I was watching her 5 years ago, I would be like, girl, what are you doing? Like, help me out. Because you're up every day. You're so happy and your kids are bouncing around you, but you're still doing it. I would join her. And that's always my like self-check. Would my audience or would my coaches join me if they were watching me? And so you have to kind of check yourself and like, would you want to join you? Are you exciting? Are the things you're doing, is your team exciting? Is your challenge group exciting? Is your fitness journey exciting? Is it fun to follow? Is it intriguing? And so boasting about it a little bit is a good thing. And you are going to get haters no matter what. So that's just part of the territory.
It's worse the more successful you get. So.
It's fun.
At least I'm not Kim Kardashian.
Right? I'm sure she has it much worse. So one of the questions, Alicia, I know she's a brand new coach, and I know how you're going to answer this, but I would rather you say it than me because they hear me talk all the time. How do you do 100 challenge invite when you only have 700 friends?
Well, first of all, you're never going to build a business off of that 700 friends. So you need to focus on adding new people to your network. And that's why we have things like Facebook and Instagram, because there's literally millions of people on social media that you have access to, that you can go and you can, comment, question, like their photos, add them, follow for follow. You can go into Facebook groups. You can friend request people. I know Raina Odell. I worked with her a lot in my Diamond Dashes, and she has a power hour where she literally just goes into Facebook groups. She goes into Facebook groups of her niche. So if you like hiking, join Facebook groups that are for hiking. Go through and friend request like 20 people at a time so you don't get in trouble. And, clear out the people who haven't friend requested you after a couple days. And then go to your Instagram and spend some time on your Instagram, like liking people's comments, commenting on people's stuff. And that's how you gain followers on Instagram. And then go back to Facebook and go back and friend request more people on Facebook. And you just bounce back and forth through different platforms. And you just do that. Like, if you spend an entire hour a day building your network, then can you imagine how many new people you have to talk to on a weekly basis? Like it's infinite. It's an infinite amount of people that are out there. Everybody who's watching your Instagram stories. So here's my first question. Are you consistent on Instagram stories? Are you going live on your Facebook? Are you posting 3 to 5 times a day? Because all of those likes and all of those comments are also people that you can talk to. And asking people to share your posts, ask people to comment, asking questions. So you're building affinity, so you're building reach, so that people are interacting with you. These are all things that you have to get your social media consistent in order to get your leads consistent and expanding your market consistent. Because if you're not building the value and you're not building the content, then there's no reason for somebody to want to follow you to begin with. If you're absent from your social media, people will be absent from your social media too. So you got to give people something to watch. You got to be your own little reality TV show, as Carl likes to say.
Exactly. I'm trying to look through the questions. And it's funny, my whole business was built, and for the first year of coaching, was built in my neighborhood moms group, which Alicia, it's funny, I think you're in that. I think I invited Alicia 5 years ago. But my neighborhood moms group, I would simply just put in there like, hey, I have hardwood floors and I'm not sure what kind of cleaner to use in my hardwood floors. And I would get 26 moms that would suggest something. I would like all of them. And then I would send them all friend requests, because obviously if we've already had that interaction, it's very natural to accept my friend requests. And so my business was built in my neighborhood moms group. And then I would go to Babies R Us and I would do that late at night, like follow or friend requests 20 so people and people that follow Babies R Us, because that would most likely be in my market at that time, especially 5 years ago. And that was really beneficial. So, and you can do that on Instagram as well. You can find things like Live, Love, Shop, which we all love those cute little tank tops with the words on it, right? Find a boutique or a shop that you love, and then go look at the followers, and you can go through and interact with those ladies as well. So a lot of cool stuff, and I'm going to be sharing with Amy's team. So I'm super excited to pass on that knowledge. Any other questions before we let her go, her and her little 8-week pregnancy self?
Today was actually the first day that I wasn't nauseous, and we got to go paddleboarding and make my pregnancy announcement video. So,
wait, you're gonna make a super cute pregnant lady. I remember I was passing by the other day, and I was talking to my son. He was in the back seat, and I was like, "See that Panera right there? I was pregnant with you, and I was craving mac and cheese so bad. And if I didn't eat it, I was gonna get sick. So I stopped in the Panera Manassas and scarfed down mac and cheese. So, warning." A little crazy.
I've been looking at mac and cheese, but I've been holding it off.
Yeah, you're braver than I am, because I was like, if I didn't, I'd get sick. I don't know if any of you ladies had crazy cravings. If you didn't eat it, you got sick. But that was me. All right. Well, Amy, we love you. We appreciate your time away from your fur babies. But thank you so much for being on our team call, and we're cheering you on for top coach. It'd be really cool to see a fresh new face up there, see Michael Neiman come up with a whole new routine, because I think he's running out of ideas for Melanie Show.
Michael Neiman and I have been talking about my top coach routine for 5 years, but I don't know who it's going to be, but I do think it's going to be a fresh face this year.
You got it, girl. I'm telling you, if they ever have Summit in Dallas, Texas, in the Cowboys Stadium, I will fight tooth and nail for top coach. And I will have the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a huge Dallas fan. Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, they're going to be on there. I've already got it mapped out in my head. It's happening. So maybe we'll see someday. But we love you, Amy. Thank you so much, Epic Empire, for being on the call. You guys have a great night. Please be fierce. She leveled up for you guys. You know, she did not dumb it down. She leveled up. So, and I don't want to do, I want to bring people on that are going to challenge you and inspire you and encourage you to push bigger than the norm, right? So that you can do big things with your business. So you can quit the jobs you want to quit. And so you can be at home with your kids and things like that. So thank you, Amy, for really leveling up with them. I appreciate it. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night. Bye.